Hello viewers from around the world. The video I'm about to show you is a video I love, even though I have some reservations in the area of marriage because of my Christian faith. I like what this lady pointed out. So interesting. Actually, we Igbos have solutions on our hands for our various problems, and most of these problems we created ourselves, so we can get out of it by ourselves. Having seen what happened in South Africa and recently in Ghana, it is enough for us to understand that there is nothing like home. I'm talking about we Igbos. Before somebody will misunderstand me, I'm not saying you should come home or that you must do your business in Igbo. No. I am saying it is high time you start investing in Igbo. Let Igbo be your base. Let it be your headquarters because of what we call eventualities. I hear people claim that as far as they are Nigerians, they have the right to invest anywhere they like. That is very correct. No dispute about it. By the law, but that has not always been the case. How many times have the government compensated you for your losses after an attack? Maybe you are attacked in the northern Nigeria. How many times have the government rewarded you or compensated you? Go to places like Katako in Jos Plateau, near St. Augustine Seminary, Fatima area. Properties have lost their values there. Due to what? The area is prone to violence. Yes. I know some people that are selling off already. How many of you still got properties around you that just Bauchi Road? How many of you? That is in Plateau. You don't seem to understand what happens to your properties outside Ndigbo. In the north, especially when there is a major crisis. So, you remember 2 years ago when Igbos were given a quick notice. Even in Abuja, that is central, not even corner, prices of properties dropped. People lost. And maybe a house you paid with 25 million. You want to sell it, you are selling it at 5 million naira. Guys are afraid of buying, having understood that they stand to lose it and the government cannot help. Yes, the government will promise you help, but they can't. So all I'm trying to say is, invest in Ndigbo, at least you feel safer. Begin to relocate your major investments. Yes, that is what I'm trying to say. I understand that there are some investments that may not be able to be relocated. Investment like hotel and businesses that must be done in certain areas for that business to succeed. I understand that. Such can be left at that locations and positions, but try your possible best to cut risks in case of what some people call incasity, makadi amama, as we used to say. Forget about that government promised protection. Have they been protecting you? Should I give instances? Now, relocating your investment does not require anybody's help to do that. You don't need the help of the government. You also got no restrictions to do that. So you can actually see that most of the powers are in our hands to make certain changes. Even a policy change. It's about you changing your mind choosing to do this? It is so simple. Even the southwest Yoruba land may not be safe to make our headquarters or major head of our businesses. Let me tell you the fact. People of those areas are becoming restive. Since some of them cannot compete with you in the area of business, some already feeling you are buying up their space. You see what happened in the mechanic village the other day in Ndigbo. Some are resorting to violence to get something they sold to you back, something you bought with your hard-earned money. They are not happy seeing you have it. Though the law may not approve of whatever they are doing, but they will do. So they will continue to do what they are doing. And they are getting away with it. That is another problem. And their leaders are secretly backing them while openly trying to make you feel safe. That is a problem. That is a problem. Okay, anatagi mana anafukwa gị ọnụ na atapu anu na afu gị ọnụ. So don't feel safe with what the law says about protecting your properties in every part of the geographical entity, geographical nonsense. Move whatever may not be safe. Move it to Ndigbo and save yourself some losses. Yes, save yourself some losses. Save yourself certain things you may not want to lose. Another thing you must consider is that haters of Biafran agitation will want to make you lose certain things in the event of a split. Yeah, they want to make you lose certain things. I know international laws are set to protect you, but that has not always been the case. Look at Myanmar. Is the UN able to save the Muslims there? Government policies from host countries can make you lose whatever you have labored for years. Just the change of policy. Ordinary local government the other day was rattling young Shagro Bus. Even I had Peace Mass is facing his own. Ordinary local government chairman that was born yesterday. Even some of the land you bought were his senior. So a change, and this is government. It's hard to fight them. But I'm talking about where your land can be safe. I think we should be thinking home. Nowhere outside Ndigbo is safer. Meanwhile, we have some problems back home that we need to talk about in our future videos. We will have to handle them in our future videos because it's not just getting home. There are problems home. Problems of people selling land to you. Next time you come to possess the land, somebody else will. Or some even fenced the land. Like somebody called me and complained. And somebody, he was accosted. Some people stopped work there, telling him the land that was sold to him belongs to a community, not an individual land. You could imagine things. Even some of the time it's an individual land, but the person who sold the land to you will connive with other people to come and take back what is sold to you. That has been part of the problem, but we are going to talk about that in our future videos.
Fundamental issues of one, investment of the Igbo man in his land. It is abomination that the Igbo man will live here and go in the West and invest in the West. When you go to Lekki, 60% of the houses are owned by Igbos. When you go to Kaduna, Kano, everywhere, investments there are owned by Igbo men. They have abandoned their home, the home of their ancestors, the home where they were given birth to, their true identity. Nobody did that to you. You must solve that yourself by divesting your interest and investing in your homeland. My brothers and sisters, that's point number one. Number two fundamental mistake you are making here in the East. Worldwide, things are shared by population. In Nigeria, the northern man will have 4 wives. Each one will have 6 to 10 children. In a household, you have almost 100 persons. The Igbo man will have 1 man and 2 children. And on election day, you start crying, they are counting chickens. So what solution do you have? Is either the women will give birth to more children, like they did in Iran, when Iran had their revolution. These are practical things that have happened in the world. So, Professor Nwala, I think the problem the Igbo man has, first of all, is to like himself and invest in his land and increase his population, either by women giving birth to more children or men marrying more wives, the same way they do in every other place. Because our future is at stake. The future of your children, women, please don't be sentimental. Don't be selfish. The future of your children is at stake. So, inyelonweyaka, by continuing with the dogma of me, my wife, and 2 children, it's abomination and it must stop. Then we say because of religion, we have abandoned certain of our values because of religion. When the people of Israel in the Old Testament asked God, you love us, you made a covenant with us, but we want an earthly king. And God gave them an earthly king and admonished them not to be in a hurry to leave the sight of the king because he's my representative on earth. We have a king here. I expected that immediately after the national anthem and you do the Oyibo prayers, a bowl of kola nut will be taken to the king. The king will touch the kola first before any other person. And he will break the kola nut and pray for everybody. He will break pieces that will go to our young ones here so that that prayer will go to them, so that they can take over from us when we pass on. I noticed that kola nut was brought. It wasn't taken to the king. And then it was shared. After the sharing, before it's taken to go and pray. So chukunyaba yala inifa metata. My dear brothers and sisters, I said earlier that we are in Anioma the most cultured in Nigeria, with due respect to all of you and the Hausas and Fulani and others. And I'm saying that because when people are talking of women equality, and I say to them, there is nothing like women equality. There wasn't women equality yesterday. It is not today. It will never be. When you say the Lord's Prayer, you say our Father who art in heaven. You don't say our mother. So they should stop all this nonsense of... There is nothing like that. It's not God's intention. Equality is not God's intention. God's intention is for woman to actualize her purpose in creation. So where is man failing? Man is failing in the Igbo land because he has refused to give woman space to actualize her purpose in creation. Is there any reason why a woman in the East cannot inherit from her father who delivered her? They do so in the West. They do so in Benin, where I spent decades. It is changed on paper. It hasn't changed practically. It has changed on paper. I spoke to Muslim friends of mine when I was in England decades ago. And in Islam, a woman inherits from the father. In fact, Islam permits the woman to retain her maiden name if she so desires. What is the problem that in the East, your own daughter that you delivered cannot inherit from you? It's abomination, and they sin crying to God for help. Is there any reason why communities in the East, like I suggested years ago, cannot crown mothers in their communities the way my forefathers in Anioma decided that there will be a stool for a woman? My community has a traditional ruler. He is in charge of men and male youths and the land. Myself as the Omo, I'm in charge of women, female youths, and the markets, and custodian of our ancestral shrine. And I'm very proud that I serve God through tradition. They kept this seat and decided that the man should have his palace. The woman should also have her own palace. So the traditional ruler has his palace, and I also have mine. He has his chiefs, I have my own chiefs. However, the chiefs of the traditional ruler are superior because man is first. That's the way our forefathers kept it in Anioma land, from Asaba to Abo. In all the communities, there is an Omu, there is a traditional ruler. Each one is given his role to play because God is not a fool by creating woman.
Thanks for watching Igbo Area TV. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also click the bell icon. Like our Facebook page. Join our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Bye for now.